Today I will be introducing you to a impactful design trend in accessible literacy, tactile books. So, what exactly are tactile books? These books use various textures and shapes to convey information, allowing visually impaired readers to understand content by touch. It's incredible to think that our tactile experience can spark the same imagination and curiosity that a sight person gets from reading with the eyes. And from my research, I found that tactile books can foster literacy, connective development, and surprisingly is a really good tool for early education and for inclusivity as well. Before this project, I didn't have much experience with tactile books. Actually, beyond a few childhood memories of texture pages in storybooks. However, a previous youth project I worked on involved designing a sensory toolbook for children with ADHD to help them engage more actively with stories. And I think this experience sparked my interest in tactile elements as tool for engagement, which ultimately inspired my focus on doing this project. Moving on some on historical background, the journey of tactile books dates back to 1796 when Valentin Hale developed a printing system using the embossed Roman letters for touched readings. I think this was revolutionary at the time because it set the groundwork for tactile literacy. Later in 1984, Louis Bailey takes things a step further by creating the Braille system, which is a breakthrough for visually impaired readers globally till now. And today, we have seen significant advancement in tactile books technology, especially with 3D printing. So this technology allows us to produce more custom and accessible educational materials that are more affordable and available to wider audience. For the target audience, the primary audience for tactile books include individuals with visual impairments, but they are also beneficial for children in early development stage. More specifically, for visually impaired user, belief and constraining texture could help them navigate and understand the content. And for young children, these books make reading more engaged and interactive. And looking into a specific design sample case, in 1994, the organization Dreaming Fingers was created to address the shortage of books for visually impaired students. So they set a new standard by using research-based textures, and children with visual impairments can understand story more intuitively. From my perspective, like this project not only increase access to books, but also helps disabled people to produce these books. So I think it provide more expert on social and economic benefit. It's kind of meaningful at the same time. And tactile books have created long-lasting impact on accessible design. From the previous case that I'm talking about, we can tell that tactile book have set a standard for inclusivity that has influenced mainstream publishing, increased the availability of tactile books in libraries and schools worldwide. And additionally, tactile books have promoted social models of production where people can also participate in the creation of these books. This approach has inspired other social impact projects around the globe. So let's dig into more about how tactile books can help the audience. Overall, tactile books provide visually impaired students with access to interactive and high-quality reading materials that promote literacy and connective development. It also allows them to engage in shared reading experience with science family members and friends because they have um, the courage to read the books more actively, and which can help the social bonding and inclusivity, I would say. And lastly, by offering educational tools specifically designed for that need, this book can help them to be more independent and maybe spark a love for reading. And the success of tactile books is evident in their widespread adoption and recognitions, as we can see that nowadays there are more and more tactile books appears in libraries and school worldwide, and not only like targeting visually impaired children anymore, but even adults would love to borrow this books, maybe because of the sensory can help with connective knowledge. So I think it's one of the elements that proving is a successful. And in closing, tactile books are more than just a design training. I think they more emphasis on empathy and creativity. So it's really important to ensure readings and learning are accessible to everyone. Personally, I am inspired by how tactile books use texture to tell story, which has expanded my understanding of how I can apply this knowledge to my UX design and inclusive practice. And yeah, here's everything, and here's the reference list. Thank you.